Carl Jung, one of the most respected figures in the history of psychology, introduced the concept of archetypes, which he described as powerful symbols residing in the collective unconscious, a shared part of the human psyche that all people are connected to. These archetypes represent universal patterns of human behavior and experiences that emerge naturally within individuals and societies. They shape how we perceive the world and influence our thoughts, emotions, and actions in ways we often do not realize. Some of these archetypes take the form of darker, more primitive figures within the psyche, such as the shadow, the trickster, and the ruler, which embody deeper and sometimes uncomfortable aspects of human nature. By exploring these darker archetypes, we can gain valuable insights into human behavior and learn to subtly influence social interactions, sway others' opinions, and exert psychological power in various situations. Here are 11 advanced methods for using Carl Jung's darker archetypes to shape your influence over others and master the art of psychological control. Number 1, the shadow. Embracing the repressed self to gain authentic power. The shadow represents the darker, hidden aspects of our personality that consist of desires, instincts, and emotions we may find uncomfortable or unacceptable. These repressed traits can include fears, insecurities, or even socially inappropriate impulses that we consciously avoid acknowledging. Jung believed that by embracing the shadow, rather than suppressing it, we can access a more profound sense of authenticity. This process involves recognizing and accepting these darker traits, which allows you to gain greater self-awareness. When you do this, you project an aura of honesty and depth that others can sense, even if they are not aware of it consciously. By integrating your shadow, you can channel these traits into controlled and constructive expressions, such as displaying confidence in challenging situations or addressing taboo subjects with a sense of calmness. This kind of self-mastery also helps you identify the repressed emotions and vulnerabilities of others, providing an advantage in understanding their motivations and weaknesses. As Jung pointed out, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious, which means that real growth and power come from acknowledging and integrating the less desirable parts of ourselves. Number 2, the trickster. Using humor and deception to disarm and influence. The trickster archetype is associated with mischief, playfulness, and cleverness, often challenging norms and expectations. This figure represents the ability to disrupt conventional patterns, and in doing so, influence others without them even realizing it. The trickster's power lies in the use of humor, paradoxes, or playful deception to create situations where others feel less guarded. This makes them more open to your suggestions and perspectives. When employing this tactic, the goal is not to lie or deceive maliciously, but rather to use humor or unexpected behavior to disarm people and catch them off balance. This unpredictability keeps others unsure of what you might do next, creating a psychological advantage. For example, making lighthearted jokes during tense situations can shift the atmosphere, making people more receptive to different ideas. By keeping people on their toes, you subtly manipulate social dynamics to your benefit. Number 3, the ruler. Establishing authority through subtle domination. The ruler archetype symbolizes authority, control, and structure. When you embody this archetype, you do not need to assert your dominance aggressively or hold a formal position of power to influence others. Instead, you can establish a sense of authority through more subtle methods, such as confident body language, commanding tone of voice, and making strategic decisions that demonstrate competence. For instance, standing tall, speaking with a calm yet firm voice, or setting the direction in a group discussion can signal to others that you are a natural leader. This type of influence taps into a fundamental human desire for stability and order, making people more likely to follow your lead when they perceive you as capable of providing these qualities. The ruler does not need to dictate commands to be effective. Merely projecting a sense of ownership and control over the situation can be enough to prompt others to instinctively recognize and respond to your authority. Number 4, the magician, transforming perceptions through symbolic influence. The magician archetype is linked to the themes of transformation, knowledge, and the power to alter perceptions. When you embody the magician, you can shape how others view situations, ideas, or even themselves by using symbolic tools or language. This can involve employing metaphors, imagery, rituals, or other symbols that carry deeper meaning to change the way people interpret events. For example, you could turn an ordinary speech into an inspiring experience by using stories or metaphors that resonate with the audience's emotions. The key is to transform what appears mundane into something more significant, creating a sense of mystery and depth. This archetype encourages others to look beyond the surface and engage with your ideas on a more profound level, which can be especially persuasive in negotiations, presentations, or any situation where influencing perception is crucial. Number 5, the lover, tapping into emotional connection to influence behavior. The lover archetype represents deep emotional connection, passion, and desire, extending beyond romantic contexts. It encompasses any relationship or situation where emotional bonds play a critical role in influencing behavior. By recognizing the emotional needs of the people you interact with, you can align your approach with these needs to create stronger connections. This can involve listening empathetically, sharing personal experiences, or expressing genuine warmth in your communication. The power of the lover archetype comes from its ability to evoke emotions that make people feel understood, valued, or desired. Since emotional resonance often influences decision-making more than logic, tapping into this archetype allows you to sway opinions by appealing to feelings rather than pure rationality. When people feel emotionally connected, they are more likely to be open to your suggestions, making the lover a powerful tool for building rapport and influencing others. Number 6, the warrior, using strategic assertiveness to gain respect. The warrior archetype embodies strength, discipline, and a relentless drive to pursue goals with intensity and focus. When you tap into the warrior, you exhibit confidence, clarity, and a strong sense of purpose that draws respect and admiration from those around you. The key is not to rely on aggression or force, but to show strategic assertiveness by standing firm in your beliefs and demonstrating unwavering commitment to your objectives. The warrior's influence is about setting an example, rallying others to join your cause, and showing a willingness to take on challenges head-on. By showcasing your determination and decisiveness, you send a message that you are someone who doesn't back down easily, earning the respect and support of others. This approach helps you gain influence because people are naturally drawn to leaders who embody resilience, persistence, and the strength to overcome obstacles. When you demonstrate that you are ready to fight for what matters, your influence becomes nearly impossible to ignore, as others will be inspired to follow your lead and support your efforts. Number 7, the outlaw, embracing rebellion to challenge conformity. The outlaw archetype thrives on defiance, rebellion, and a willingness to challenge the established order. By embodying the outlaw, you embrace an attitude that questions norms and breaks free from restrictions, setting yourself apart as someone unafraid to defy convention. This doesn't mean recklessly opposing authority or tradition, but rather using your nonconformity strategically to inspire change, present fresh ideas, and disrupt stagnant ways of thinking. The outlaw's influence comes from its power to shake things up and encourage others to look beyond what is considered acceptable. This archetype appeals to the natural human desire for freedom and authenticity, creating a following among those who feel confined by existing rules or structures. When traditional methods have failed, or when there is a need for bold innovation, the outlaw's approach becomes particularly effective. By embracing the role of a trailblazer who challenges the status quo, you position yourself as a transformative force, leading people to adopt new perspectives and explore uncharted territory. Number 8, the sage, gaining influence through knowledge and insight. The sage archetype represents wisdom, insight, and a deep understanding of the world around us. To embody the sage, you must position yourself as someone who not only has valuable knowledge, but can also provide clarity and solutions in situations where others feel lost or uncertain. The sage's influence comes from being seen as a trusted advisor or a reliable source of information, which can shape the decisions and behaviors of those who seek your guidance. This archetype is most effective when you present your insights in a way that is easily understood, using storytelling, historical examples, data, or philosophical principles to make complex ideas accessible. The sage's power lies in its ability to frame knowledge in a relevant context, allowing you to influence others by demonstrating that your insights are not only accurate, but also practical and applicable. By becoming a source of wisdom, you can subtly direct people's actions and decisions as they look to you for guidance and clarity in navigating challenging situations. Number 9, the caregiver, using altruism as a strategy to build dependence. The caregiver archetype is associated with nurturing, protection, and providing support to others. While the concept may seem at odds with dark psychology, the real power of the caregiver lies in understanding how helping others can create a sense of dependence. By offering assistance and presenting yourself as a reliable source of support, you encourage others to see you as indispensable. And the more you position yourself as someone others can rely on, the more they will come to depend on your presence in their lives. This isn't about being manipulative in a harmful way, but about recognizing the psychological bond that forms when people feel taken care of and secure. This strategy taps into a basic human need for safety and comfort, and when executed subtly, it allows you to increase your influence over time as people grow more loyal and cooperative. The caregiver's power lies in its ability to build relationships where others feel emotionally attached and inclined to reciprocate the support they receive. Number 10, the innocent, appearing naive to manipulate expectations. The innocent archetype embodies simplicity, optimism, and a non-threatening demeanor, often characterized by a naive or unassuming appearance. By adopting this persona, you can manipulate others' expectations, leading them to underestimate your capabilities. When people see you as harmless or naive, they may let their guard down and be less cautious around you. This gives you the opportunity to act strategically, catching them off guard with actions they didn't anticipate. The innocent's influence comes from the ability to disarm opponents or skeptics, making it easier to maneuver without attracting suspicion. This tactic leverages the assumption that a lack of sophistication equates to a lack of strategy, allowing you to work behind the scenes while others are distracted by your apparent simplicity. When executed effectively, it provides a psychological edge that allows you to navigate complex situations with greater ease. Number 11, the creator, influencing through innovation and inspiration. The creator archetype represents creativity, originality, and the power to bring new ideas into existence. When you embody the creator, you have the ability to shape the reality around you by inspiring others to see possibilities that were previously unseen. This approach isn't just about having new ideas. It's about bringing those ideas to life in a way that encourages others to believe in your vision. The creator's influence comes from its ability to introduce novel solutions, push boundaries, and think outside the box. By demonstrating creativity and a willingness to explore uncharted paths, you can guide others toward your desired outcomes without using force. When people see you as someone who can innovate and inspire, They are more likely to support your efforts and follow your lead. This archetype enables you to drive change and shape perceptions, making your influence felt across different areas of life. In mastering these advanced techniques, it's important to approach the use of dark psychology with a clear understanding of ethics. Manipulation and persuasion can indeed lead to success, but they must be wielded responsibly. By understanding the works of pioneers such as Carl Jung, Machiavelli, and Cialdini, you can gain insights into the more complex aspects of human behavior and leverage them to shape your path to the top. Remember, the key to using dark psychology effectively lies in subtlety, strategy, and ethical consideration. When done correctly, these techniques not only help you achieve your goals, but also navigate social dynamics with a level of finesse that gives you an edge in any situation. You've just learned some of the most advanced techniques in dark psychology that go beyond common persuasion tactics. By applying these strategies, you can take control of any situation, gain the upper hand in negotiations, and understand the deeper dynamics at play in social interactions. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights on dark psychology, unconventional success strategies, and how to master the lone wolf mentality.